What if I told you that self-love is not about being kind to yourself? In fact, being too kind to yourself might actually be the problem. I know that sounds crazy, right? We are always told to be kind to ourselves, to be gentle, and to give ourselves some grace and forgive for every little mistake. But sometimes the easiest path is not the one that leads to growth. In fact, being overly kind can sometimes keep us comfortable, keep us stuck in our habits and afraid of doing what's required for the change. Today we are going to deep dive into why true self-love might be the most hardest thing that you'll ever need to do, because that's the only way to create lasting transformations. Let's get one thing straight. Self-love is not what social media shows us to be. You see, hashtag self-love on the pictures of bubble baths or shopping sprees or treat yourself moments. They all do make you feel good and they have their own place. But that's not the essence of self-love. That's self-comfort. It's like putting Band-Aid over a deep wound. Temporarily, it will relieve you from the pain and it'll make you feel good. But it's not going to heal that deep wound. It's not going to heal what's going on inside. Here's another concept regarding self-love. People think that self-love is about constant positivity, always believing that you are amazing no matter what. But let me ask you, can you truly grow if you don't confront your flaws? Real self-love is not about pretending that you are perfect. It's about embracing your imperfections and doing the hard work to improve. It's not about avoiding the guilt or discomfort. Rather, it's about facing them head on. And here's the most famous one. If I love myself, people will love me too. It sounds so good, isn't it? But here's the harsh truth. Self-love is not a ticket to universal approval. It's not about changing yourself in order to fit into someone else's expectations. It's about creating and building that inner strength where even if no one is clapping for you, you are proud of the person that you are becoming because you know your progress, you know your work, you know how far you have come. So, if self-love is not about pampering, positivity, or people-pleasing, then what is it about? Well, it's time to redefine what self-love truly means and why it's not as soft and fluffy as you have been led to believe. So if self-love is not about bubble baths or feel-good affirmations or external validations, then what is it about? The truth is, self-love is about discipline. It's about accountability. It's about making the hard choices that your future self will thank you for. Real self-love does not always make you feel good in the moment. Sometimes it's about saying no to that extra hour of scrolling on social media and saying yes to getting a good night's sleep. It's about waking up early in the morning to work on your goals, and even when you know that your bed is literally calling out your name. It's about being honest with yourself about what's holding you back and having the courage to confront it. So true self-love is uncomfortable. Why? Because it requires you to challenge your habits and beliefs that are keeping you stuck. It's not about letting yourself go off the hook. It's about holding yourself accountable. It's not about ignoring the pain. It's about walking through them no matter how hard it gets. Think about this. When you truly love someone, say your partner or your kid or your best friend, you want the best for them, right? So what do? You encourage them to grow. You push them to move past their limits and be their best selves, right? So why should it be any different when it comes to your own self? Loving your own self means pushing yourself towards growth, even when it's tough. This is the side of self-love that no one talks about. It's real and it's transformative. And here's the good news. If you embrace this version of self-love, you'll realize that this is the greatest gift that you can ever give to yourself. Let me share some stories with you, because theory is one thing, but seeing the things in action, that's where magic happens. So here's Priya. She was stuck in corporate job for years. She told herself that It's fine, at least it pays her bills. But deep down, she felt that something was just not right. And her version of self-love was binge watching Netflix on weekends, just to escape the reality. But one day, she decided to rewrite her story. So she got honest with herself and asked, what is it that I truly want? It was not at all easy. She had to face her fear of failure, her family doubts. So Priya started taking small steps towards her dream of becoming a graphic designer. She took up some night classes, enrolled herself for the course, and she had to make some hard decisions about pursuing her dream and quitting her job. She did quit her job to finally pursue her passion of graphic design. Was it difficult? Yes. Was it scary? Absolutely. Was it self-love? Without a doubt. Priya did not take the comfortable path. She took the right one. And today she is living the life that she loves, not the one where she's just surviving. Now let's talk about Raj. Raj wanted to get healthier, but every time he started a fitness plan, he would just drop off after a week or so. And he would say to himself that, hey, I love myself the way I am, so why should I change? But deep down, he was not at all happy with the way he felt about himself physically. One day, he realized that true self-love is not about accepting the habits that make him feel less than his best. Rather, it's about making some hard choices that aligned with the future self that he wanted to become. So Raj started small. He started walking for 10 minutes every day, and those 10 minutes later became 20 minutes. And then he added on to weight training. He joined a gym. He did not shame himself for missing out on a day. Instead, he focused on consistency. He preferred consistency over perfection. 6 months later, Raj not only gained weight and the body that he wanted, but he also gained confidence, energy, and a sense of pride in himself. I would like to share another story of an important person. She's Aisha. She was the friend who never said no to anybody, even if that meant draining her. She felt like if she would say no, that would make her feel so selfish. So whether it was about staying late at work or bailing out on people's problems, she always said yes. And then came the breaking point. Aisha felt resentful and exhausted. And that's the moment when she realized that self-love is not about pleasing others at the expense of your own well-being. It's about protecting your space, protecting your peace. So Aisha started setting boundaries. She politely declined the tasks that were not hers to handle. She carved out time for herself, even if that meant disappointing others. Of course, at first it felt awkward and uncomfortable, but soon she felt a sense of freedom that she had never experienced in years. And guess what? The people who truly cared for her respected her boundaries, and her relationship with her own self improved more than she could have ever imagined. All these stories show one thing: self-love is not glamorous. It's gritty, it's challenging, and it requires courage. So whether it's pursuing your dream, prioritizing your health, or protecting your energy, the acts of true self-love will always bring you closer to the life that you deserve. Here's something that most people get wrong about boundaries. They think that boundaries are walls. They are keeping people out. But actually, boundaries are not walls. They are bridges. Bridges that connect you with your authentic self and to healthier relationships with others. Boundaries are the foundation of self-love, because that is what will define what you will and what will you not tolerate in your life. It's not about controlling others. It's about protecting your energy, your time, and your peace. Think about it. How can you truly love yourself when you are always overextending, saying yes when you mean no, or letting other people take advantage of your kindness? Boundaries are a way of saying that I value me. And when you set boundaries, you are teaching others about how to value you too. Let's be honest, setting boundaries can be really hard, especially if you are a people pleaser or a person who's afraid of conflicts. The first time when you say, "I'm sorry, I can't," it may feel like you are being selfish or even mean, but boundaries are not selfish. They are self-preserving. When you set boundaries, you're not just saying no to others, you are saying yes to yourself, yes to your time, yes to your energy, yes to your mental health. Let me give you a few examples about how boundaries look like. In relationships, it might mean saying, "I need some time for myself," even when your partner wants your attention. At work, it could mean saying, "I'm not ready right now to have any more projects. I'm already filled up to the brim," instead of just burning out to prove your worth. With friends, it's about being able to say that, "Hey, I'm not comfortable talking about this," when there is a conversation that's crossing the line. The beauty of boundaries is that they free you. They free you from resentment, from exhaustion, from that feeling where you don't feel like good enough. And guess what? The people who truly care about you, they are going to respect your boundaries, although they may find it difficult to understand at first. Okay, let me give you an example. कभी आपने कोई गार्डन देखा है? गार्डन के आसपास हमेशा एक बाउंड्री बनाई जाती है. Now think of boundaries as a fence to your garden. उसका क्या काम होता है? उसका काम होता है कि सबको पहले तो आगाह कर दो कि भाई हाँ, this is a place where you cannot walk. आप चल नहीं सकते हो. You have to be careful. कोई ऐसी आके आपके फूलों को ना खराब कर दे, या फिर पेड़ों को कुछ खराब ना कर दे, कुछ आलतू फालतू इंसेक्ट्स, कोई एनिमल ना आ जाए. You are basically protecting your garden and you're creating a safe space where your plants and flowers and trees, everything can grow easily, right? That is exactly what boundaries do for us also. It's like creating a safe space for your mind, for your soul to just thrive, to grow. Alright, so now we have, cleared all the misconceptions. I have uncovered all the truth that was required for you to know. But now it's time to get practical. See, knowing something theoretically is one thing, but applying the same thing, that's where the magic happens. The first step to true self-love is figuring out what is it that value the most, that matters the most to you. What is it that you will never negotiate? Whether it is honesty, creativity, freedom, whatever it is, just take some time, reflect on those and write it down. Because true self-love means living a life that is in alignment with your values. And once you know what is it that you stand for, decisions become easier. You'll find it easy to say no to things that actually drain you. And you'll find it easy to say yes to things that align with yourself, that truly fulfill you. Now here's a powerful exercise for you for the step 2. The next time when you mess up, because believe me, everybody does, we all do, just try to be kind to yourself. Instead of being rude or harsh and saying, "Oh, I'm such a big failure," try saying, "Okay, it's okay, I did make a mistake and everybody does. I need to improve. Now what's there for me to learn?" Learning from your mistake and focusing on what is different, what went wrong, or how is it that you can change. This will help you to be on a higher step than the mess that has been created. Self-compassion doesn't mean letting yourself go off the hook. It means holding yourself accountable while still being kind to yourself. Imagine how much you would grow if you would support yourself instead of tearing yourself down. We talked about boundaries earlier, right? But here is the practical part. Start small. Identify one area of your life where you feel overwhelmed. Now, whether it's work or maybe a relationship, just create one boundary around it. You can think of creating a boundary of having an uninterrupted lunch break. No distractions, no talks, or saying no to an invitation just to take rest because your body needs it. Just create one small boundary and start working on it. See, the more you practice, the easier it becomes for you to honor your needs without any guilt. The key is consistency. Think of self-love as a relationship with your own self. And just like any other relationship, it's important to know the other person, right? It takes some efforts to know the other person. And in this case, it's you, your own self. You can try journaling or maybe some therapy or even exploring some hobbies that you always had in your mind. Just try experimenting with your own self. Give yourself the time to understand your own self. The more you explore about who you are, the more you learn to appreciate your uniqueness and your talents. Self-discovery is self-love in action. Self-love thrives on habits. Create weekly or daily rituals that just make you feel good. You can try journaling or 5 minutes gratitude journal, or taking a walk in nature, setting aside a time every week to play your favorite musical instrument, or anything that makes you feel good. These rituals send a message to your conscious that I matter enough to prioritize my well-being, to value myself. And over time, these small acts just add up in a big shift in the way you see yourself. You must have heard the saying that you are an average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? So take a good look at your inner circle. Who all are the people? And do they lift you up or do they drain away your energy? True self-love means choosing the relationships that nurture you and walking away from the relationships that don't. And I know it's not easy, but it's worth it. However, I would like to add on to one more thing. Sometimes it means making some amendments or talking it out or having some discussions in order to come up with a solution where both your relationships as well as your well-being, everything can be managed. So, the final step, don't wait for a major milestone to celebrate. Did you set a boundary for yourself today? Celebrate. Did you take a step towards your goal today? Celebrate. Did you just make it through a tough day? Celebrate that too. Acknowledging your progress, no matter how big or how small, reinforces that you are worthy of your love and appreciation. Self-love is not a destination, it's a practice. It's a daily commitment of showing up for yourself even when it's hard. So start today. Pick one step, take one action and watch how your life transforms from inside out. Because when you love yourself deeply, everything else falls in place. Let's take a moment to bring it all together. We have talked about the myths, the truth, the role of boundaries in self-love, and some practical steps to embrace self-love. Now, here is the real takeaway. Real self-love is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not about perfectionism or just pampering. It's about showing up for yourself unapologetically every single day. So what are you going to do today to start this journey? Will you set a boundary? Will you speak kindly with yourself for once? Will you take a single step towards the life that you want, that you deserve? Self-love is not about being perfect. It's not about never falling. It's about coming back to yourself whenever you feel like you have missed out on something. Remember, the love that you seek, the validations that you crave for, they all start with you. And when you embrace true self-love, you not only just change the way you see yourself, you change the way the world sees you. So go out there and love yourself like your whole life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does.